Hello students, how are you? I hope everyone is fine. Today I am going to start your 7th chapter, The Sherpas. This story was written by T.R. Red and it was taken from the National Geographic magazine. Do you know children who were the first men to reach the top of the world, means Mount Everest? Yes, it was the Edmund Hillary who was born in 1919 and died in 2008. And with him, Tenzing Norgay, who is a Sherpa, who was born in 1914 and died on 1986. So Tenzing was a Nepali Sherpa mountaineer and he was well known as Sherpa Tenzing. He with Edmund Hillary reached their goal, means to reach the Mount Everest on 29th May 1953. So let us begin the chapter. Let us read the first paragraph. For some strange reasons, my vivid stories about walking 5 miles through the snow to get to school never seem to impress my children. So from now on, I am going to tell them instead about Lakpa Sarfa, a student at the high school that Sir Edmund Hillary founded in Kumjang, Nepal. Lakpa hoped to go to college and became a doctor. To ensure that he got there, the 16-year-old would walk 5 hours to school on stony mountain trails each week. In monsoon, I walk in the rain. In winter, I walk in the snow. It's always hard. But then, when with the Sherpa skill for finding the bright side, he would add, going back home is downhill, so it takes only 3 hours. So the children, the author want to say, the author here says to their children that they were not impressed by the authors when he was telling about the vivid means the clear stories about walking about 5 miles through the snow to get to their school, to reach to their school. You students are very lucky as you have a comfortable transporting to your school, but the people lives in Himalayas areas have a tough life. Walking in mountains areas are not so easy, but these peoples are very laborious to move through these mountains. But author children were not impressed by his stories of walking 5 miles to go to school. So the author told them the story of Lakpa Sherpa, who was a student in high school that Edmund Hillary founded in Kumjung in Nepal. Lakpa aim was to become a doctor. For this, he had to struggle hard in his age. When he was at the age of 16, walked 5 hours to school by crossing a line of stony mountains. Means very tough, very stony roads. Many roads are not so concrete, and so they are dusty roads. They and every day of the week it was a hard life as in monsoon. He walked in the rains. In winter, when it was very cold, he walked in the snow, which was not so easy. It was very hard. Still, their skill for finding the bright side. Here, the bright side means getting out of the problems and finding the solutions to reach their destiny, to reach their goal. And he added that it was taken less time, about 3 hours, to back to home as it was down the hill. You students, you know, when you climb a mountain, it is very tough, but when you come down, so it was so much easy. So that like that, when they were going to school, they take 5 hours, but when they return back, they take only 3 hours. So let us read the second paragraph. Life would have been much easier if there were a yellow bus to take Lakwa back and forth. But the fundamental fact for the Sherpas, an ethnic group of Buddhists living in northeastern Nepal, is that there is no bus, no car, no bicycle, and not an inch of paved road within the 425 square miles that made up Kumbhu village. The Sherpas traditional home beneath the Mount Everest. The Sherpas in Kumbu go everywhere on foot with their property on their backs or either on their yaks' backs. So here the author says, but life would be much easier if there was a yellow bus to take Lakpa to school and bring back home, like the facilities that we that our school available to you. But the basic fact of that area is that the Sherpas, the tribe of the Buddhist people living in northeastern Nepal, which was full of trail of mountains, means a series of trail means a series of mountains having no good roads to move on those rocky mountains. There was no bus, there was no car, there was no pakka road with in that the radius of 425 square miles of Kumbu village. So these Sherpas only move everywhere on their foot with their property and belongings they carried on their back, either on or in on they have domesticated animals like yak. They also put on the yak's back and move from one place to another. So let us read our third paragraph. If after arriving at the tiny strip in the nearby village of Lukla, you ask a Sherpa how far it is to the mountain monastery at Tengboche, the answer is given not in distance, it's 14 miles, or in altitude, it's 3,300 feet higher up, but rather in time. Tengboche, you will get there on the fourth day. It takes most other people to 2 days to trek to the nearby market town of Namche Bazaar and about 6 more days to get to the Everest base camp. So the author says that there was a small airbase on or aerodrome near to the village Lukla where you landed and asked to any Sherpa about the monastery, means the religious building of Buddhist monks where they used to pray. This monastery was at Tengboche. So, if you ask them how far the monastery or the Tengboche was, the answer was not in distance. They not to tell you that it is about 14 miles or 14 kilometers, but or they were not also told you in the it is about 3,000 feet above the sea level or or but they will reply that tourist rather than time. They would answer you would reach there in on fourth day or fifth day, like that. The local people trek means move to 2 days, move from one place to another uh, to get their things. They have a local market in Namchi Bazaar, and to get the things from there they have to move to 2 days up and down. They will take 2 days from Kumbu and about 6 days to reach the base camp in the Everest base camp, and they will take about 6 days. So you children can imagine how hard was the life of these mountaineering people, as there were no bus, no car, nothing, and they have to move there by their foot everywhere, here and there, to get their things, to get their full what they needed. So every thing in that area is not so easy. They have a very hard and and breathless life, means very they have a very busy life. So let us read our next paragraph. When a Sherpa family in Kumbu wants to build a new house, much of the structure from floorboards to corrugated aluminum roofs must be carried from the lowlands of the rugged trails on somebody's back. So here the author says when anybody want to construct or build a new house in Kumbu, the most of the infrastructure the floorboards, means long planks made of wood to build the wooden floor, and to corrugated means to assemble them in a parallel series and groups as it to give the strength, and all they used aluminum roofs for their houses, and all these things, all these materials was being carried by those mountaineering people, either on their back or they used their domesticated animal yak to carry the things from one place to another, mostly shifted from low down areas to the high up areas. So it was very difficult to construct the house also there in the Kumbu. So students, this is the end of my part 1. Please read the page number 96. I will send the next video in my next part. Have a nice day. Bye.